Throughout a lot of the interviews I've been doing, what I notice is when I would ask individuals like where they get their inspiration from or who they were learning from, necessarily they learned by watching.
Yeah.
And in the midst of watching, if there was any vocabulary that came with it, they never took the vocabulary to go with it. So they just necessarily took the move and learned how to reshape the move in their own way. So they became innovators.
Yeah.
So I always give those people the credit. However, it creates an issue because it's like the lack of knowledge creates disturbance in regards to maybe how a person would dance.
Yeah.
So that's why I would ask you, because I would believe every good teacher should know how to teach people how to dance.
Yeah, and like it's nothing but love in my heart always, but like yo man, until the day that I die, I have to be truthful with what I did, what I said, and who I seen.
Okay.
You know, like, so earlier in the interview, like when you asked me, you know, like who inspired me, whatever, you like you know what, it's like whether Michael or Gregory are dead or alive, I gotta bring them up, because if I did not bring them up, that would be a lie.
Correct.
Right? You know, so yes, I took so much things from being inspired by like Mr. Wiggles. When I first in my class, I was even teaching hat tricks, but I wasn't teaching hat tricks with like fitteds. I was teaching hat tricks with, you know, like with fedoras, because that's what I seen Mr. Wiggles do.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
like you know, like it's like I was going down on the floor and I was moving because that's what I see Mr. Wiggles do, right? Right, like when I would drop to my knees and turn and come up, when I would teach it, I would say, this is a corkscrew, because that was the name that was associated with it. When I would boom, 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 I would call it a dime stop, because that's what it was. Mm-hmm. You know, like like I call that tutting, because that's what it was.
So now you introduce Corey and Claude and the rest of the people that will come into your class into these things. So now they go on Flex in Brooklyn and they become famous with it. Did you participate on Flex in Brooklyn at any time?
I went on Flex in Brooklyn. I think maybe like 3, maybe 4 times the max in my life. I'm actually trying to find. There's like a rare footage of when I was on Flex in Brooklyn, and basically, I think that Bingy and Suspense were like dance, whatever.
Yeah.
And basically, I walked like. I think I interrupted their performance, maybe, or maybe they interrupted my performance. But I basically walked out with some crutches.
Mm.
And when I walked out with some crutches, the crutches actually like, a screw was missing in the crutches, and the crutches actually like broke and bent, and I kind of just went with the flow, and I came up, and then I bust a skeleton, and the crowd went crazy.
Hey.
Like you know, yeah, like that. That's like that was a memorable like moment for me. The other times that I went like on Flex in Brooklyn, another iconic moment was when I bust out the helicopter, where like I put my boy like I'm like on my head, and then I spun, and then I stopped, and he kept on spinning. Right, like, you know, right, nobody, right, and I got that from hip hop. You know, like no one has attempted that in the Flex culture. Another time I went up on Flex, I was basically trying to give like other people like a chance to like shine. They weren't the best dancers, and I mean it is what it is. Like man, like people threw like trash at us. They threw like yeah man, it is what it is. Yeah man, they threw.
What was the Flex in Brooklyn platform like? What was that scene like at the time for you?
It was different to me than it was for other people. You know, everyone wanted to be a star, and everyone who went up on that, they became like a hood celebrity. Me, when I went up there, I went up on there for the culture. I didn't go on there to be a star because I would rather the fortune over fame.
Okay.
You know, but dancers weren't getting paid. You know, like it was just, you know, like community access. You know.
Copy. So, were there any time that you would visit Flex in Brooklyn and watch your students perform?
I remember there was a Flex in Brooklyn showcase, and there was a Flex in Brooklyn showcase, and basically it was at Brooklyn College, and I went, and I stood there, like with my friend Abdul, and we watched the showcase, and he basically turned to me and he says, "Yo, it's like they took what you taught them, but they're not finishing it." You know, like you know.
Who was performing at this time?
It was it was Claude, Corey, it was Spider.
Well, this is what Spider that would end up doing hat tricks.
Yeah, and whoever else was a part of. I was a part of their crew again. You know, I you know, like, and even back then I said, listen. There comes a time when you have an idea or whatever, or something becomes too big that, as much as you know, it's like, as much as you might want to, it's no longer yours.
Right.
You know, right? You think of martial arts, you know, such as Taekwondo. That's Korean, but today Taekwondo is worldwide. You know, like like you got some people who are official members of the Korean Council, and you have like people in which they basically they've separated themselves. You know, like, you know, so when something becomes big, it's, you know, like, it's, you know, like, oh, it's no longer yours. But I sum up what happened to be this. People would come into the class. The class was originally in the auditorium, then it got moved to room 100. Sometimes it would switch. When someone leaves too soon, they only have a partial image of what things are supposed to be based on memory that they store.
Okay.
It's like someone being like attacked on the street, and then going to like identify the person. They're not identifying the person by like a clear vision. They're identifying the person by the broken up image that they have in their mind. And hopefully they identify the right person. So when people would come to my classes and learn moves or whatever, and then go back and like bust them on Flex or bust them in like a house party, right? And then when flexing became bigger than them actually being in class, they're left with movements that they're doing, but the movements are not in the definition of how I taught them, and now they don't even know what they're doing. So now they got to make up names to go with the movements.
So they never took the vocabulary
Yes.
that came with the moves.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, but at the same time today, what they're doing, it is a movement, and I respect it. But at the same time, it becomes confusing to people when certain questions are asked, and they cannot connect the dots. You're supposed to be able to connect the dots.
Do you believe the reason for not connecting the dots is because they don't want to tell the truth on how they end up getting what they would, in a sense, evolve? innovate.
I believe that.
Like they lost track of foundation.
Yeah, I believe, I believe that's a combination of the two.
Okay.
Like right, to the point that some people don't even know. Like yeah, man, like yeah, it's like yeah, yeah, like but it's like this. I believe that I remember I used to get irritated when people would do certain things, or say certain things, and I would say, yo, but don't they have common sense? And I forgot who it was, but somebody told me something that basically has stuck to me throughout my life. And the person said, Damien, don't be upset. Common sense isn't common to most people. And that right there, from that point on, I haven't complained.
You ain't losing no sleep.
Right, like, yeah, it's like, you know what, at the end of the day, it's like, it does not matter what like other people are doing. I'm gonna stay in my zone, and I'm gonna make sure that when I dance, that you see lineage.
I like that.
And that and that is very important to me, because whether I'm doing dancehall, whether I'm doing rock up, or whether I'm flexing,